Mama say, oh, hear me, Sabria. I have a little message for a man of God who is highly revered in Ghana. A year Prophet Kofi Oduro. And the baby and second video, and what he has said, Mr. Beckham, the message. I think this is the only way. Masheda na midi ya nyumu ya to background me pese o TV na fi and krebi o me di mamu na me ko manu mamu so atin ko mo na se Anointed voices of the SDA 7-day Adventist Church. Many are said right now, Israel. Oh. Easy take a paddy from man, con sell back to Satan from money, from money, from money, from money. Oh, I can't be your soul. Okay, Mumayanko Nayanko Tie, the reason for this video. We have a renowned man of God, also for be Ghana ha, enipa bibri na muwa mope heaven akodi. Munim say oka enkwajisem, the message of salvation. He is such a refined man of God. I respect him. And I like him so much. I really admire the enthusiasm he puts in the dispensation of the gospel. Na empenifosi di Tesano nimse nechi achia. And sometimes, you know, when you are leading the people, you be to me correct some of the mistakes. And you know, I want to use this medium or this platform to send a message to Prophet Dr. Kofi Oduro, Alabaster Ministry International. I don't mean any harm. No, we are fellow workers in the vineyard of God. And you know, I wish to express these concerns. Send your bear obey to me. I pay close attention to. I have tried to get in touch with him. I have not had any contact number so far, but I feel say it is also an information a bebua inuanom asofwaka omo preaching the message of righteousness or salvation. And without much I do know, I want to tell me say o preaching the message of righteousness, holiness, sanctification. Now, I have a little problem with, and yet the message now or presenting I have a problem with, but the practicals, dear work any de me there is a associate them kakra. Me pese me bisi with a question that me address it na yenina no yede Bible no eje say the echo no eya na say enya Sofo Kofi Oduro, I know you are kingdom minded and you want sinners to give up their old ways of life. You want everyone who is on the path of unholiness or unrighteousness to let go those evil deeds and become a purely born again Christian, which I endorse. I really endorse that message. But the problem I have with you, and they say, you preach one thing, but your members do the other. That is the problem. If I am mistaken, I want you to pass your comment or write up your comments. Maybe I am the one here who is wrong. But I think, say, I may not be wrong after all. Because you can't righteousness. Righteousness has everything to do with usubai. Oneye, the inner being, what dwells within you. Adiewumu. It is somebody can be holy, but not righteous. But righteousness and holiness and antibum. Untumi nyabako. Enkofa bako mechirim se ne be ya obetemasiye ye can righteousness training. It has more to do with attitudes to buying, and ye can holiness and sanctification. It has more to do with what you do with your flesh. Now I'm going to read some scriptures to define what I'm trying to say. Righteousness is on one side, and holiness and sanctification on another side. Righteousness ni ye training, and holiness ni ye kronkron ye, and sanctification ni ye ahotie. Iti kronkron ye ne ahotie no enam bom, eno they are inseparable. And righteousness no so enam one side, and both of them no parallel. What you say, and they choose the same journey, and they will head the same direction. Ubi ankoni baby. Na righteousness no say ye wo obem baby wo ho na ne kasa enye da. Unim kasa odidi atem na di bi oye bia no emfa ne kwam ne butumi fu and all that unrighteousness. But you can have that same man ebia na adia unclean onye ebia on masturbate. So at ya say nipa no omwadwaman onkofa adie bia ensem fatam fan kan nipedua onyi ni tiriwi onya ni tiriwi nya ne pese nye no adie bia en suggest say we hu Kristo na Kristo etinimu etino bema won fa ne ho kan obada oye holy. So at ya say oye holy oye undefiled eti oye holy. But we become nebi kra na nenum kasa nyede unrighteousness. Ebi kra na ebufu obi wonu. Eti nyame nantie mu no esese ne mienu yede eko. Esese righteousness no any holiness no ekabum. Eti when you preach about righteousness, sanctification, holiness, I expect holiness and sanctification no evident in the body of the person. Eti I expect Prophet Kofi Oduro the message now all man. I expect his immediate followers to practice what he preaches. Otherwise, it doesn't suggest to me say he is making an impact, because one more motor na sana kasampono. So mun to me fa we no masem ni nye adwuma. Now they don't live holy lives and you keep on preaching tie. People are listening. But the very people who are immediately under your feet, I don't see the practice of what you preach in them. That is why I'm drawing your attention to this particular issue. Now, what am I talking about? Holiness and sanctification, it has to do with the audio nipediaye. Now, how can you tell me, say, you are preaching the message of salvation, holiness, sanctification, yet a man who say weave on, a man who all kinds of hair in me, one more the mean to a mean so a pretty bone said the even in the house of God, one more the bumper upon set and known in itself, no, and yet holy practice, no, woman sign and kata material so. Meanwhile, the Apostle Paul talked about this in 1 Corinthians 11. If I want to ask Prophet Kofi Oduro, Alabaster Ministry International, say me pacho head covering now Paul ekaye in 1 Corinthians 11 no, and no die unhu ya na, and I say different version or interpretation of that scripture. Adinti na emaba sorry them wa omo kata umutiri we so. Na ugusu preaching holiness sanctification to the world. I believe that is a question he must answer. And don't you know, say ni refini one. Minuya me kairo say eno so ka ho eti ma womo a edi wachi your immediate members no, let them practice what you preach. Ti enwini edi tu enyin so na womo ensan kata so no, it is not holiness, eye unholiness. But I say what in common say eye unholiness. Eti no, if you feel say you are preaching holiness and sanctification, righteousness, the message of salvation ya eka ho, our spiritual growth and ye may be see a woman bra will be a yes we. So it doesn't make your work complete. Sim to home. Send ye ubi who sim to a medium one becano. Sana sim toward the one may draw your attention to. It may pato take note of it for me very well. The tosumi, you know, the wearing of trousers by women, ladies, no, I still do not understand why your followers will do that. Is it that you have not told them, or is it that you are trying to put out a message out there, forgetting your immediate environment? Mepacho, Deuteronomy 22 verse 5 no, has not been nullified by the New Testament. And I don't think say you will be capable of saying, because I know you, Prophet Kofi Oduro. I know the kind of message you put out there. It is the message the world needs to hear. You won't support the idea or a someone who binum eka senyame somdie and no anu wakumen. Because over and over and over you have pre-sanctification. It is a man who share trousers. I question you. Can you please provide an answer? Trousers, channel. It is unholy practice. It is against the very fundamentals you preach. It is a refuge one. Minya ebio mekaiwo. Then again, I see them wearing makeup. The last time I touched on the subject of makeup, Ejina Sari, or teaching Biwana sorry, and he was endorsing makeup. Shield your face. I condemned that particular segment of the teaching, so well. But I see your people, one man, one gusutri makeup, eyelashes, one more say, more retention, one more say, Sanya many say, yet you are preaching holiness and sanctification. So I want to find out from Prophet Kofi Oduro, say, a man guna sena, one more say, excavator, more, asoni bino, akroma more, no more say eyelash, no more treat makeup, no more detail national. Holiness and sanctification, which people are you first preaching to? Your members or the world? Are you neglecting your church and talking to the people out there? I want to draw your mind to this. Because if we are talking about holiness, kodesh, it has everything to do with what we do with our body. Until they cannot decide to do whatever they wish to do, especially when they wear makeup, tree makeup, more retention, eyelashes, so what I say, and your holiness, and your sanctification, the Christ in them will not teach them to dress that way. And I think say we seem to be a ministry. I'm not judging you, no. I'm only drawing your attention to the fact say you are getting something missing out of your ministry. I really admire you. But the way you speak, I really admire that. So authoritative. You want to, there is a sense in which you are communicating to the people. And I really want to see what you preach being practiced by your immediate members. They are the evidence of what you stand for. So if they or members and ankasano, a man say trousers, a makeup, eyelashes, more retenting, trousers, no more to meet the back, even in the house of God. Oh, Minia, then I think you are saying something to us, but your people are doing otherwise. Is it that you don't have control over them? And you cannot instill, make sure send your war cano, the year you was on them one. If that is the case, then I guess you still have to buckle up. So I think I say. Ebio, I also want to draw your attention to the fact say, preaching the word of God, we are moved by the Spirit of God. But the Bible says that the spirit of prophecy is subject to the prophet. Let us say, and when you receive a message from God, it is up to you to apply wisdom or know how to carry the message to the people. And I like the fact that you are able to conduct yourself so well in the corridors of ministry. You are very ethical. I like the fact. But recently something came up which I found it so unnecessary and it does not edify the church. The fact that Utumi Kofa or Emma Pant any Sunday managed to say Bobra or sorry them 19 near the idea because you were teaching on what that laugh talk or something like that or relationship. Well, I also do teach on relationship. I teach on matters of that laugh talk, we all do. But what you did, I think it was totally unnecessary. It doesn't edify the church. I remember today, and next Sunday, and then 19th. Now, before I watched a little part of your program when I was free, and I heard you say, so will be Kisi Oba fufro so for mame te ho in the name of deliverance near the ade. And a whole lot of things are happening. Oh yeah, oh masturbate jai, oh no monsa jai, oh yeah, we are jai. Adie bia oh yeah any jai, and you prayed for them. Oh bombai mao. Good one there. Enti me so me pesa me kasa kyerɛ say so for any one kwan say okɔhyɛ ɛma pant ɛne nightie ne all those things in the church because you want to carry a message to the people. I think you can use words, you can use communication to transmit whatever you want to pass on to them. So it was totally unnecessary. Ne hu hia say obeye saa. But what in common say? I don't know, you may have reasons, but whatever reason, I consider the ministry of Christ and our predecessor, and then I've also checked spiritually the impact of what you did. It doesn't really edify the church. But publicly, I want you to understand, say, it was not necessary. You could still have talked to them without wearing those things in the church. How do you think your wife would also feel? Because if somebody is kissing or fit ubiriano and obafu frano in the name of deliverance, and you are also wearing a ma pant and this manu in the name of deliverance, then the question I ask is, what difference is it between you and the other man of God? I would also advise you will reconsider repeating that particular thing. Maybe you. It's not really necessary. It doesn't edify the church. I say this in good faith. I don't mean any harm. I just feel a lot of people are under you. A lot of people are listening to you. And I'm so happy when a man of God is so blunt with the truth. Because that is our calling, that is our mandate. If it's a baby I might never come there. It in nipa na ewo no se oboabo ma no na de omo komanya me ewo heaven. Na me so me de medie ekohia wa. Won se ne aye dwuma kese e de ama Kristo. But obonefo no, the best way he has entered the church is to befriend the church. Olden times ne die na or persecuted the church, but today he has become a friend of the church. And I see that problem in your ministry. Said the devil has also befriended your church. Maybe you lose a financing form, prophet, financing form, and put your children on course. Discipline them. Let them behave. Let them act in accordance to what you preach to the entire world. You get that? All right. And then there's one more thing I also want to talk to you about, which I feel you should do. You've been condemning the evil deeds of politicians. All right. You've been blasting personalities. All this and for the so-called celebrities and all that. And near my body be on we are Obanyum to Fumwa Oka, Amanyofo Oka. Or every angle okay. Now one thing I'm trying to understand is the fact say invite you Edioba, because most especially I've seen you come on Adom TV time one say viral say Mame Adwa Bibi the program, so now I invite you eba afternoon time. Na Oko platform nisua. I am the first thing I expect you to talk about. Oba no a host no a wo host you no. Wo hwem mo repa wo this woni the way wo see painting anim. Any eyelashes need the way we see here na. It is good to accept invitations like that, and I don't know if you have talked to her in secret to change. But I have not seen you once, I have not seen you just twice. You have been invited severally, and you have been hosted by similar personalities, and you never condemned how they have dressed. Meanwhile, behind the pulpit, you do condemn those things. And I'm able to say, members no here. And that those people give you invitation, and you honor the invitation because you need to speak the mind of God. That is good. But I want to ask you, do you condemn those things you see on them? because that is obviously not holiness. If every aspect of your life you are going to propagate the gospel of salvation, which is righteousness, which is holiness and sanctification, then you shouldn't sit unconcerned, or you shouldn't sit, with your mouth silent. Say, and then say you need social media hype. But I don't think that is the purpose of your calling or what you stand for. You don't believe in that. So if you don't, please, these are few things I have to communicate to you. I don't mean you harm, no. But I just want to draw your attention to these things. Say it's about holiness, sanctification, righteousness. And don't be a hypocrite. If you condemn party A, party B, party C, assume condemn whoever you meet. The condemnation is to adia warrior and not to the person. The message of truth will be presented, but we must always condemn sin. What is not right is not right. And you cannot compromise at one point and then at another point you come to present a good message of righteousness. I expect you to live up to expectation, just as I am also expected to live up to expectation. It is a leader, memma kwan emma me members, emma asori wobra omon kato mutiri we so. What in common as make up ne nyema keka ho nyina no, they won't do it. They will not do it. You know why? Because when I preach the word of God on sanctification and holiness, I expect those who are following me to comply, because they are my immediate witness. So man, yes, there is no way I can go out there and have the moral right to talk to them. It is a way. I don't really know your wife though, but if your wife is into that, then I'm sorry, you have a problem with the message you are presenting. You first have to look inward before coming to the public. Maybe manu disem, there may person be kindly make the corrections. And one more thing, if you are not careful, social media men will drag you to the mud. This is just a caution. This is just a caution. I think you have to watch carefully. I know you know your left from right, and you can tell what is wrong and what is right, because, excuse me to use this phrase, you are a full-grown man, and you are also enlightened, you are educated, and sometimes I listen to some of your vocabs. Wow, your vocabs are very big, and I mostly want to run away when I hear some of those vocabularies, But be careful with social media, men, TV personality, and those things, especially those who have been interviewing you. Sometimes they don't mean you well. They don't mean you well. So please, brother, man of God, I respect you and I respect your ministry. And I love the way you put it in there. You are so enthusiastic and you are so blunt. But please walk your talk and take note of what I have just mentioned. It is my consent which I decided to address. And those of you who have watched me, video, you don't agree with me. If you don't, you can always comment and share with me what you think about what I've just said to the man of God. You can always contact me on +233 244 765050. Mediane Bernard, Ofremia Mefa. If you feel say my can't say bina and you're writer, you can still put me right, because in as much as we are vessels of God, we can still say things that we believed in ourselves they were right, but might turn out to be something different. I stand to be corrected with the message I've given to my elder brother, because he's older than me and I love him so much. Man of God, greetings. But please take note of what I've just told you. Thank you.